Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week in the shed I've got a lamp from Menin Sheds that I've got to repair. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so there's another odd one to repair in here. It's a table standard lamp which came into the shed to be looked at, and the whole thing is sort of put together with folded over metal, I think, so that you can't actually unscrew anything. It's all loose, but it doesn't undo. And we've had a good look. You can't unscrew from the underneath. There's nothing up there except the wire coming in and going up the tube. These are all just swaged over pieces. But what's happened is that the lamp holder has broken in the top, and again there's no means of getting that out that's immediately apparent. So I've got to try and get that lamp holder out and get a new one in, and I don't quite know how we'll fix that until we actually get the old one out, because I don't know what's in there. As I say, the whole thing is just held together with bent over metal, I think. First thing I'm going to do, rather than waste a lot of time, I don't know anything about this lamp. I don't know how old it is. I don't think it's that old, because it's still got the paper on the old plug that came with it. It doesn't look that old. I assume it's just got knocked over and it's broken the holder. I don't know. Now, because of the history of it, and I don't know how the wiring's going, and because the wire comes up that stem, along there, up there, through there and up there, I don't want to find I'm messing around with this and then find the wire itself is causing a problem because it's broken elsewhere. So I've just got my little electric continuity meter just to test this out and make sure that there is connection between the pins of the plug and the unit itself. So we'll go there until we find, like that one now, that's a straight, there is continuity between that wire and the plug. I want to also check that there's no continuity between that and the appliance itself. So I'll check the electric doesn't short out anywhere, that's okay. Check the other one, which is the neutral. That's not shorting out on the metalwork anywhere. That's not connecting, but that may be because the switch isn't on. So we'll just check the foot switch. Yeah, and then that goes on. So we know that the wiring is pretty safe on it anyway, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time mending something that will then electrocute the person at the end of it. So it's all down to getting this bulb holder out, so we're getting close and have a look and see what we've got. Now again, I've got the same problem. This just doesn't seem to come apart very easily. The only thing I can think is that it might be a bit of a push fit somewhere, but I don't know. There's a plastic grommet that obviously protects the wiring at the top where it comes out of the shaft. Again, that's just a push fit, and it does look like there were some little bits of wire which were covers over the end of the cables when they came out, over the wires themselves. It looks like the actual holder is just a push fit on the bit of metal tube in the middle. So I've got to try and get that out. Right, all that effort, and it turns out there is a thread in there after all. I needn't have bothered quite so much about it, because it would have if I'd given it a chance. I thought it was just going round, whether it was just going round and taking the bottom tube with it, but certainly now I'm holding the bottom tube it will unscrew, and there we are. So there is a thread in there, so I'm not wasted a bit of time there. So we've got now, we can get to the bones of this. We can take the nut off the top, which the whole thing relies on, I think. but I will just take the thing apart completely so I can check things out. Yeah, that's it. So we can check out all of the components. That's the way you get all the rubbish out. You know, there's bits of stuff down in there that need to be taken out. Make sure I keep all this in the same order. And there we are, down to the bottom. And again, it just gives me a chance to check out that all of the fittings are okay, everything's tidy. So all I need to do now is go away and find a new bulb holder. Thanks to the wonders of the internet, once again within 2 days we've managed to get a suitable bulb holder. There are an awful lot of bulb options for small bayonet, large bayonet, small screw, large screw, Edison screws now, I don't know. In this instance I've had to go with the traditional bayonet type, purely and simply because it was the only one I could find in silver. But I think that'll do because it's got the 10mm diameter hole at the bottom, which is what I measured the original one to be at. I'll just take off the ring for the shade and the top ring that it assembles with. That should leave us with the bit that you screw the wires into and the piece that goes on. There is a thing for an earth position on there, but I've just checked on the flex. There is no, it's a 2-wire flex anyway, so there's no point in doing anything with that because the actual appliance isn't earthed, which makes it even more imperative that when I put it back together that little cable protector goes in around where the cable exits at the top. So it's a fairly straightforward one, this. All I've got to do now is basically just attach the wires and screw it all together. Also get some pliers because I think I'm going to need those. Make sure it's all tightened up after I had the nut off, which I'll just make sure it doesn't come apart. So that goes on next. This is where it'll start to get a bit cranky to get everything done up. But if I use those little slots, we can screw that in. It goes on nice and tight. There we go. Now we put the cable protector in. Go down the middle. Push that all the way in. That goes right down in there. Pull up as much of the cable as I can get at. And we've just got 2 screws on the holder. Connect those up. That's gone. The little brass ferrule sticking out the top. Hook that up nice and tight. And the same with the wire on the other side. That's it. Make sure they're as tight as I can get them without breaking anything. So that will now push into the two little recesses in the base, I hope. Yeah, that's gone in there. And we can put the top on, which will bring us into the problems of doing the ring up, I think, but I suspect, yeah, I can just get it started, I think, with my fingers. That's the difficulty. That's caught it. That's it, it's got it. Make sure we do it up tight. That's it. Nice and tight. Put the little ring on for a shade, which they may not need, I don't know, they may have a decorative lamp bulb. Just double check all the continuity now again, just to make 100% sure before I plug it in. So, switch it on to continue and we try live. I can see it. So that one's connected, and then we try, we'll try it against the other one just to make sure there's no short circuits, which there aren't. Check it back to the frame. We check the neutral, and there's nothing, but if we then check the switch, that's it. So on, off. Right, get a bulb and we'll have a go. That's that. Plug it in. And try the switch. Good, that's that one done. Well, that's got the lamp repaired and working, and another little job out of the way. Hope it was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week when we'll be doing something different. I'll see you then. Bye!